So this video is going to be a short summary on the life of Julia Alvarez, and it is going to be a little bit about her early life and some of the works and what she kind of put into this novel that was reflective of her life. So, like the Garcia girls, she was forced to flee the Dominican Republic because her father was involved in a plan to overthrow the government and the dictator at the time. However, unlike the Garcia girls, she was actually born in New York and moved back to the Dominican Republic shortly after. So she actually had citizenship in the United States. Either way, though, she did spend her most formative years in the Dominican Republic, just like the Garcia girls did, and that caused, a lot of trouble assimilating back into the American culture, and which is reflected in the Garcia girls, who have a hard time assimilating into the American culture as well, except that, they had never been here before then. So she has that in common with the Garcia girls. And this is a theme that she actually shows a lot in her other novels that she has written. It's a lot about migration, especially because of political push and pull. And she also talks a lot about the difficulties that come with assimilating inside of a new culture to essentially survive and be successful, and actually being able to still be in touch with, your home culture. Especially in this novel, you see that a lot. Even though Yolanda in this novel is the firstborn daughter, and Julia Alvarez is actually the second oldest in her family, she seems to identify more with Yolanda throughout the novel, especially because Yolanda starts off this novel right away, and as you'll see soon, it is actually written backwards in a way. It starts technically at the end of their story when they're all grown up, as Yolanda's coming back to the Dominican Republic to visit after she's been in the United States for a lot of her adult life. And it talks about how she doesn't feel like she fits in anywhere. She wants to move back to the Dominican Republic, but even when she's there, she doesn't fully feel like it's home, just like she never fully felt like the United States was home. And this theme is reflected in a lot of her works. Another really famous novel of hers is In the Time of the Butterflies, which she was actually a screenwriter for. It actually became a motion picture in the early 2000s, I believe 2001, and that actually won her a lot of awards. It follows a lot of the same themes that we see in the Garcia girls and that she experienced in her early life. It's a little different. There's 3 sisters in this one, but there's still a lot of political pressure, and there's still a lot of themes about migration and not really fitting in. But she wrote a lot of collections of poems as well as other novels that you can read about if you scroll down to her works. And she also wrote a lot of young adult novels that don't have as many hard-hitting themes in them, but it still has that underlying theme of trying to fit in somewhere that you don't really feel like you belong. She, like I mentioned, she had that movie that was made off of one of her novels, which is a lot of critics would say is her most popular novel, even though the Garcia girls is also up there. She also has won a lot of awards because of her writing, and a very memorable one is in 2013. She received the National Medal of Arts from President Obama. I included a picture of her receiving this medal from him. And she won other awards as well for both the movies and her poems as well as her actual novels. She still does a lot of speaking out about the importance of growing up in 2 different cultures, which is a theme that you will see a lot throughout this novel, how she struggles to go, all the girls struggle to go back and forth between living in the Dominican Republic because there's such different values there, and they are seen, and they're rich when they're in the Dominican Republic, which is something that she shared as well. They had a lot of money when they lived there, but then when they moved to the United States, even though they are technically still middle class, they have a lot of money, they are seen as lower than that because they came to the United States at a time when immigrants were not welcomed at all, so she struggled a lot during that, and that's something that you can see reflected a lot in this novel because she does pull a lot from her personal experience.